The Zodiac Killer, Shadows in the Fog. It was the late 1960s, a turbulent era of cultural revolution, hope and change. But not all evolution was for good. Beneath the fog-draped skies of Northern California, something far darker stirred. A predator who stalked the unsuspecting with cold precision. He called himself the Zodiac Killer, and his name would forever etch itself into the annals of true crime, leaving a legacy both terrifying and mystifying. The Zodiac Killer wasn't merely a name. He was a spectre, a shadow lurking in plain sight, whose acts of calculated violence broke through the noise of societal change, making him one of the most terrifying enigmas of modern crime history. It all started on a bone-chilling December night in 1968. Two teenagers, seeking solitude on a secluded lover's lane, became his first known victims. They were mercilessly gunned down, their lives snuffed out under the veil of darkness. Just 7 months later, in July 1969, the Zodiac struck again. Another young couple became his targets on a similarly eerie night, but this time there was a twist. Against all odds, the male victim survived. Bruised and bloodied, he gave investigators a shard of hope, a description. The killer was said to be a stocky man in his late 20s to early 30s, with light-coloured hair. Yet, even this clue led to dead ends, as though the Zodiac had planned his escape from the very fabric of reality. Unlike many killers, the Zodiac revelled in fame. Mocking authorities and tantalizing the public, he sent chilling letters to newspapers. Each correspondence was a jigsaw puzzle, laced with confessions and sinister ciphers that seemed to dare the world to catch him. In one infamous letter, he coldly admitted, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." His demands were equally cruel: publish his words or pay in blood. Investigators pored over these cryptic ciphers, desperate to crack the code. While some held answers, others refused to be solved, teasing at deeper secrets. What was the Zodiac hiding? Or, more terrifyingly, was his entire narrative a chaotic game meant to mock the limits of human intellect? In his letters, the Zodiac boasted of claiming up to 37 lives. Yet, only 5 murders have been definitively attributed to him. Was he exaggerating? Or were more victims out there, lost in a web no one could untangle? The questions only deepened the mystery. Despite technology's leaps forward, the case remains as cold as the fog that blanketed his crime scenes. Over the decades, countless suspects have been considered, but not one has been conclusively tied to the man behind the chilling mask. The Zodiac wasn't merely a killer. He was a storyteller of horror, a puppeteer controlling not just his victims, but the consciousness of an entire nation. He turned fear into a spectacle, intertwining his dark deeds with cryptic puzzles that continue to enchant armchair detectives and thrill seekers worldwide. His legend endures, not just for the lives he took, but for the dark theatricality he brought to his crimes. Even now, more than 50 years later, the Zodiac Killer remains an unsolved riddle. Was he a mad genius or a lucky shadow who slipped through history's cracks? No one can say. His identity, motives, and true number of victims remain shrouded beneath layers of fear and speculation. But his story lingers like a spectre in the fog, a haunting reminder of the dark unknowns that thrill and terrify us. The Zodiac Killer is more than a mystery. He is a timeless enigma, daring us to inch closer while leaving us trapped in the chilling void of uncertainty. In the realm of true crime, his is a tale that will never stop sending shivers down our spines.